MP, Honorable Joseph Akwete Tete. Yes, me Anidaso say we winning and then match, you know. And not because young qualify and I say young Jimmy Bobo. Born assistant from time to time.
This time I see.
Yes, young Saudi Arabia against Argentina.
You know everybody thinks.
Yes, things are changing. And the big men are falling. Yeah, I'm a coach.
He's a renowned coach.
No, it doesn't matter.
Now coach you, coach in Poda.
One said Switzerland, any Ghana match, friendly match. Yes, they are all signs. The previous match you lose here before that match. So it's all signs, and you believe it's a microphone. They will prove to the tax today. Yeah, we have a team. Although it might not be the best as compared to other teams, I believe it's a Ghana.
They are the least ranked team in the World Cup.
It doesn't matter. You do World Cup now, things changes. If you look at our past record so far and see, I mean, my
first World Cup, yes. We lost our first match. Italy shared, but we managed to qualify. This time around, we are not going to lose. In the match, we are not. You know, we are not going to lose. We are going to pull the first one. You haven't met Portugal. We made them. You think we beat them? Yes, we will do our best. We'll do our best. Don't worry. I got everybody come and support the Black Stars.
Yes.
They say we are doing our best. Okay, we'll give you our support. Ghanaians, go and make us proud, right?
Thank you.
Okay, go and get the winning bonus.
They'll give us. This time around. Don't worry. The president is there, so we'll bring some.
What's the president doing?
He's going to add morale to the program.
What morale?
They need him.
Why do you need them? Every country in the president.
No, not every country, but.
So what is the need?
But as usual, we send supporters to go and watch. Maybe he's also going to watch.
That thing doesn't make sense. Why do you send supporters there?
Yeah, but it's a norm that have been there.
What is the norm?
Although it doesn't add up to
the current
situation. It shouldn't have been so, but we will not say this is the time. We can reform, but say.
Why don't we call a spade a spade?
We can call a spade, but at the end of the day, let us also know that there are things that we need to call for. For example, as we are here today, we can also advise that in the future, some of these things.
That is all they talk about. Is that avenue to chop money? When they qualify for the World Cup, then some people grow-ins will go chop money.
That one is true. I quite remember the former one some time ago. The budget was around $4 million, and it escalates. We didn't even go to any stage. we came. It is well.
Okay, so today, great expectation. Yeah, sure. 2 significant things will happen in Ghana today.
Yes, budget.
One will come earlier, and one will come late. Look, when the budget goes well. Budget in Nalia, Obatampa, COVID budget, Ukraine budget, Russia budget. I don't know how the budget is going to become. So 2 things will happen. So Ghana, what are our strengths? Where is our strength? Defense, midfield, or attack?
We don't have. I will not say we have a stronger strength at any way. We have. They are good in all. They will play a teamwork. At this time around, here, it be a defense or anything. What we need is they should be determined. They should put all their best into the match.
For you, anybody, any team,
yes,
you need to know your spine.
Yes,
you need to know where your strength is.
It's around the midfield.
In the time gone past, we had better midfield.
Yes,
we have the likes of Muntari, Isian Steve Napier, the Kinsons and others. You have even the current Otoado when he was playing for the Black Stars. I remember his first time they came to Ghana, the Black Stars came to train in Cape Coast. I was at the stadium and he made some catch. I was like, oh, the guy had arrived. Otoado was then a lanky player, very good player at that time. He was playing, but our defense seems to have seen some improvement.
It has improved.
Of 2.
Yes.
Tariq Lamte and Salisu.
Yes. And I'm praying that the first 11, some of them should be featured so that.
I think they should be cautious of cards. That has been a bit
dangerous
teams. The cards too much. In all our matches, the cards.
Especially trying to match Ronaldo in this game.
Ronaldo, we are not afraid of it.
Then we are going to win. Then you should agree we are going to win.
I think Portugal is depending on Ronaldo. You got your time other players will score you right now. They have a solid midfield. It's a jointed team. Ghana sometimes, I know what we have, but I don't know. The defense is better. Salisu is one of the best interceptors as far as the Premier League is concerned.
Yes.
Amate, great player. Jiku has been playing in France. I don't know his European record, but if he had moved, probably would have seen that this is Jiku. He's not doing badly. Baba Rahman, I have my doubts, but he's been very consistent for the Black Stars.
And I believe he'll do well today too.
Gideon Mensah is there. I don't like Baba Rahman in the team, personally. For the midfield, the Samed is an addition to the midfield.
Yes.
I will need somebody to protect the back line. Then we release Partey.
Yeah, of so much pressure.
So
and
my worry is if Samed becomes the pivot, then probably we'll play Partey and then Kudus will come back and then we'll tell him to release the balls early.
Okay.
Although to ball, he can hold on to the ball. Sometimes the time of releasing, my worry is the front.
The front there is always a challenge for we the Ghanaians.
We've brought in a prolific goal scorer in the person of Nico Williams.
Yes.
Walker and then Williams.
Yes.
Inaki.
Yes, but
yesterday his brother was in an action. Great player down the right flank.
And he scored.
Did exceptionally well.
Yes.
But Moshe in the if he plays up front and there is no support,
then there's issue, and this is why Jordan and Co should also change their start. He's always putting us back, although they do well, but holding on to the ball.
That is the way he plays his soccer. Crystal Palace is playing day in and day out.
But
he's not a direct striker.
Yes,
he holds on to the ball for somebody to score. So if you have somebody up front, so you will worry the defense. No, about
but you know, this time around, you should pull him out with, because at the end of the day, here goes.
You know why the coaches like him? That is the way they give him. Hold on to the ball, worry the defense. He is not expected to score.
Oh, okay.
That's the role they give him. Go and worry defenders. That's all.
When we get some penalty.
And that's what he does best. So that's why every time day in and day out, coaches are fielding him. His role, go and worry defenders. That's all. That's his role.
That's great.
Our captain might occasionally have some flashes of brilliance, but age is not on his side too as well.
He's great.
Yeah, it's good. Kudus, I don't know, but a lot of people are banking their hopes on Kudus because of his exploits for Ajax this time.
But they could do something. I believe we will do something today. Baby.
Me, I followed soccer for some time. I followed the Black Stars for some time, but I think that I always want to see them as a unit. They were individual players. If they play as a team, even when they lose, I know they played as a team. But
individually, anything individually doesn't help.
You know, there are times that even in the Senegal 92, for instance, we played as a team, but there were flashes of brilliance from either Odatelamte, Abedipele.
Cool. They all want to show what they got and things.
We knew that once the ball gets to Abedipele, magic will happen.
Yes.
Once Tony Boy gets the ball, magic
will happen.
Odatelamte was brilliant. Yaprek was great. You could see Isaac Asari, Otako, Kini, and others. Beautiful play, but they played as a team. I need a coach who will blend the both. Paying for youngsters. We have the youngest team in the tournament.
It's true.
I was surprised. I was comparing it with Spain. I thought Spain are the youngest, but we have the youngest team in the team.
And this will help us even going forward. Because coming next 4 years, I believe strongly we'll get there again.
Oh, we'll get to it again.
It is a 4-time.
Ghana Yasa. Don't do better preparations than we are there.
We pray things will change. Yes.
Okay. That will depend on the policies of
the new administration and things. They should review some of these policies. And
why you think there will be a new administration?
No, once there's
2024.
No, they will not change, but they need to review some of their policies and things
that better. Have a national agenda on everything. If it's sports. This is a national agenda on sport. I don't like government to be about
new rules and regulations.
Obiso obey AstroTurf. Obiso also obey green technology. Obey. I just get confused. Please, it is time we sit down and have a national agenda. National agenda. This is what we want to do. We want to do it for the next 4 years, the next 8 years, next whatever. I am tired of this issue. Every government wants to come and it wants to change. Look, there is one national agenda: sports. We want to excel. Let's go back to the days we were playing school league and other things. The codes and everything should come back. That should be our basis, and then we'll move on. One agenda. Yeah, interclasses, interforms, we have interhouses, we have interschools. Training countries for where you want. This time I don't say. Let us go back to basics when we used to run in school. Tartan tracks in the being we ran on Sakura Park. We were getting all our stars there. Let us go to Amina and take the fishermen and take them to Olympic Games. Yeah, quiet, actually. Otherwise, I
Oh, Milia.
Maybe I'm a
Yaminado more.
and the blasters was over here and three.
What's what we're saying? Portugal over here. It's not possible.
Not possible.
It's not possible.
Hey,
the worst is say being a draw. Either 0-0 or 1-1.
I heard some that so
For Ghana, that is the worst for Ghana. But we are winning this particular match.
Oh, Vimeo.
Sure.
Why?
Looking at the preparations, right from say free players, you know, or more coach, you know, in the minds of the coach and then the technical team, you know, on to me, I represent Ghana. And the we are almost okay, pre-World Cup match here recently, I boy now. Even though both sides, because of the World Cup and Nintendo, be a person putting much effort. Now, when you're injury, we all saw how perfecto they were on the field in terms of play. They exhibited togetherness, unity, and then the aim say Ghana edo madwin so no. Omutre no so park and so Ghana form say yes, cap we dey. Nyame ye adoma e betumi the cap no abefi.
Ghana flying nyame adoma.
Oh, we are winning. 2-1.
As if God is not in any country apart from Ghana.
Yes, so God is everywhere. That now it depends on your preparation.
Now what preparation are Papa?
Fantastic. I got to make sure you pretty much
National Switzerland now. What is it?
Oh, come on.
Switzerland.
I got to make sure more.
It's called Switzerland.
Is it not a national team?
Brazil hammer on the
Is it not a national
Brazil
team?
hammer.
Were you not surprised that Saudi Arabia scored Argentina?
Why should I be surprised?
Yes. So I now understand your point of view. Why you not be surprised?
Why should I be surprised?
Why you not be? You are not surprised as yet be shared before.
And then I said Spain. That was Costa Rica.
Yeah.
That why were you surprised?
That is football. Football, anything can happen. It's unpredictable. Even with all your preparedness and others. You saw what happened between France and then Australia. Almost starting, look at the formation that Australia was playing. Fast. And almost share. Quickly, France, for example, go back to the drawing board. No more hear them, almost share, almost statistics and information is no more. When they came back and then scored Australia 1, and almost city or more. After one person bob defense, no say the pressure better too.
You see,
therefore, the pressure and 2 almost on goals in the statistics.
That is one.
And that is football.
That is when you have a good coach. I said that is when you have a good coach with a strong pedigree.
We have a good coach.
You know why I'm saying that? It's France American. How many times will coach work World Cup? He's a World Cup winner.
Exactly.
He's coach at the highest level. He knows his players. Exactly. You don't go and score them first and they don't panic.
So okay, what are you drawing at?
Who coach what are you drawing? Coach team put that.
What are you drawing at?
No, when
I mean there is first time in everything.
Remember when you talk about France, I would liken it to Real Madrid. Okay. And in Real Madrid, they're bonation 1 and 2. Even 88 minutes, don't think you have won.
Exactly.
Anything can happen.
So there are certain teams, they have pedigree. Exactly. And the coaches, they one person. That time Alex Ferguson or Manchester United, he was using social as just up about 10-15 minutes, you come and make the difference. But he was a very good player on the bench. That is your job. Come and score and let us score. In France, when they Australia, they rushed.
But PeeKay only those days school was fun.
Yeah.
Because sports and soccer curriculum and through that, some of us had the opportunity to play football for some time. In football, anything can happen. Look, maybe I'm a cultural man for say it will be a very bad day in football. Trust me, regardless of how good you are. It's all what happened to Messi.
Yes.
Bad day. Your man ball cramp now pass and go through. One case I say no, things are not going well. And that is where professional players will even call their coaches on them on your own free because they have bad day. So football, in as much as sports is concerned, is unpredictable.
But I believe in training.
Exactly. Preparation and everything will be there. But so far as it's sports, game, anything can happen.
I have a contrary view.
It's your view, and that is why I notice.
Yes.
Because I believe in full. You could have a bad day, you could lose a penalty. I mean, yesterday, Courtois the Budumbra boy in the penalty, right?
Yeah.
Is it that the boy can't play? Courtois is dangerous. Meaning there,
very good.
So somebody like that, he's trained. If you look at the preparation they make, they will play a match against you. They look for the potential possible 1 hour penalties. They will study you the normal like your penalty and if I left it. So he will dive to the left. He studied you, and that is proper training.
And let me give you one practical thing. When it comes to sports, it's unfortunately some of us we don't put in much science and data as we normally call it. But these are teams each and every player.
That's what I'm saying.
Their favorite point of play. Me say Australia 4 match na mo hwe no. I found out say keeper no you should dive into the left. And I say Semina may strike here.
Left.
Or one am body. And you remember there was a game on ball recently. Our Moko penalty where the keeper no or coach here no offer bottles or no you're not knowing all the players no
yes. It was in the bottle.
And that is data.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for us, maybe as a state we may not have.
We have. So it comes to that's their way.
They are doing it. They are doing it.
And that is why I'm telling you that this very much today we are winning.
2-1. 2-1.
Yes, what?
I'm in the fight too. Am I ready? 2-1 in it.
Oh, then African print representing Ghana fully.
People have them.
Yeah.
People have them.
I
got the president is there. Maybe Jarov. Okay.
That is one political view. When you think maybe I may have my personal view in as much as is concerned.
But I think it is not his business to get there.
There are other responsibilities that we should equally
Don't worry.
prioritize.
Maybe they're fine now. When Ghana get to the
exactly. But the president equally has a reason for being there. And PeeKay, let me use this opportunity to greet my Miami communication director for Tema West, Sami Dakwa, and Apemichiano, MP, Honorable Carlos Ayinkra, the constituency executive right from Kwesipoku, Bosompim, Obrimpon, and co-constituency executives, Michia and Api. Greetings to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, the Commander-in-Chief of Ghana Armed Force, and Api Michiano. Any the vice president, any na plan for our young on your more a year. But PeeKay, I'm giving you the assurance say the worst are a negative my ever born or I be now either 0-0 or 1-1. That is worse for Ghana. Either than that, we are winning.
Martin.
We are winning. Like I told you from the beginning, we are winning. 2-1. 2-1.
Why is that Martin? I always say that we should win. In fact, they say we are winning.
Exactly.
That is the wish of every Ghanaian. We are winning. We are all rallying around the flag. Red, gold, green flag. Everybody, whether you support Black Stars or not, irrespective of Sika and Kofu Benye, support the Black Stars.
Yes.
2 things will happen today. The reading of the budget. Budget in all Korea. 2 things. what happened. But all the same, today is our first match. Let's rally around the flag. I will see Brazil in action for the first time today at this World Cup. Argentina, 35 games unbeaten. They've been beaten. Germany, with all their players, and Hansi Flick, you know what? Klinsmann was coaching the team. They thought he was getting old and other things. Then he stepped down. Flick takes over the team and he's struggling. His first match. Never write those teams who have lost out. Argentina were a great team. They have a strong pedigree. They have lost their first match, but don't write them off. They can go on to win the World Cup. Germany, when you check up, teams who win today, Real Madrid, when you check, they will win. Don't write them off. Ghana, we need to make an effort to get them, make African nations proud. Everybody has written off Ghana, but we Ghanaians, we believe in ourselves. Believe in yourself. Let us do it. The spirit of everybody should be behind this team. Yeah, let's go and do our best. After all, we are representing Ghana. Put your differences aside. This is the only sport that unites us as a country. This is the only thing on here in Kabumba. Normally, people, everybody is saying Ghana will win. The only some few people know what's the cash album when you man Ghana if you know Abba. That cash now the coin no Abba. But anyway, we are praying. Okay, so today finally Nyama is show. You know, until behind the 80 MPs, where Luther, rebels, what were they don't want the finance minister. In fact, their actions were justified. We shake the foundations of the party and government. But our president, now actually a strong man. Our president, so is one teacher. On us on your reshuffle, you don't force him. He is not perturbed. He is not afraid of you. Look, don't blackmail him. You cannot bamboozle him. What's on here? So our president says, I'm not doing reshuffle. They said the finance minister should go. President called them. I said, hey, Mama no quite on leading into IMF, no reading the budget, and afterwards we can talk about it. Rebel leaders said no. First round of meetings. And when we were releasing one common fund, I didn't know why I'm It's okay. One review. Second one was let's get to go and read the budget. And then the minority started a censure against the finance minister. Unfortunately, minority who are new who go anywhere as a committee no. You see, they had legitimate points that they made the political judgment, clouded their judgment. It's one which one. The conflict of interest, somehow, somewhere. It is true, a fact. But one present in here, Echo Court now, this why it is not emotions, it is fact. So, I don't know why somewhere. The report is not out anyway. But from what we all saw, the finance minister came out with flying colors. The explanation on my own contingency funding and contingent excellent submission. But not in the yes, because I'm not yet. If he wants to go, he should go. But anyway, today, when it was before the censure in Okada, he's going to read the budget. People, the majority had even said there's all no read budget now. You meet an empty chamber. Yesterday, there was a U-turn. The party elders, the president met the majority caucus in parliament. They have made up their mind to go and support the finance minister today. Martin, what's your expectations of the budget? Changing from Nyama Wosisina, COVID, Ukraine, whatever. I don't know what the name is going to be called. Budget wanted to we obey Ukraine budget. Hey, sorry. Russia, Ukraine budget.
Okay, thank you so much. And this particular budget issue is of so much concern to all of us as a country. And this time around, I wish this budget should be called miracle budget. It should come and change the economy status. Because as of now, things are really difficult. And I will study the previous 3 budgets now. It looks fantastic, but the reality on the ground is different. So this time around, I wish a budget to reflect the true living condition most Ghanaians and as Ghana as a whole no facing. Because at the end of the day, we can be reading budgets and things will be getting worse day in and day out. So, like the government is saying, I would also like the government to look at certain things going forward, especially in this budget. I'm expecting them to at least cut down the government size. Because we didn't. But it is my wish.
You think they will do it?
I wish they should do it.
You think they will do it?
And maybe there's a miracle. That's why I say it's a miracle budget. Okay. I wish they will cut down the government size. You know, I also wish the reduce some of the presidential staffers. Because at the end of the day, we are spending so much. The country, things are difficult. We have so many numbers there. And we keep spending so much on those people. Let's reduce some of these things so that we can cut down on the financial stress of the country. I'm also believing that they said massive reduction in taxation so that at least things will become
more are coming on.
Yes, I see it coming, but I wish, that's what I'm saying, that it should be but things are difficult too.
I swear.
Things are difficult. You can't even to buy food, you have to think, do calculations. Things are really difficult.
They do that one
for all of us. In fact, my brother said he's doing some. Oh, don't mind. So let's.
So you think taxes should be reduced?
Yes.
They need to show up our revenue. Let's look at the reality. The revenue now here. They need to show it.
Yes.
I've heard there's the rumors that there's going to be an increase in VAT. I don't know how to read it. 11 so what you most are very useful. You want them to cut the size of government?
Yes.
These are some of the things.
The importation, we should reduce importation. Then we should come into. Yes, we have to start putting. We have to start putting strategies and processes in place to do that. You see, the government needs to empower most of our production of raw materials and also go into full processing and those things. We need to start.
What are people doing?
No.
Advantage.
Those things are not really reflecting, because if they are reflecting, the level at which food stuff are expensive and things are getting.
So now you're cutting them too.
Yes, no. By the end of the day, if the reality is really working, it should reflect in our.
But there's food.
There's food.
Honestly, there is food.
There's food. So
let's be honest, there is food.
No, there's food, but as in terms of the quantity. You see, if there is enough food there,
yes,
the reality is that it reduces. Because if I have enough food and even people can buy it, I'll be forced.
I've seen plantain getting rotten. We are market women, some of them are wicked. Mamenka, bananas, they get rotten.
So the question is, why did they get rotten? The person bought it at a high rate.
No,
you want to make money? No, it's true.
Okay, let me give you a typical example.
Yes.
The planting for food and jobs thing that the Agriculture Ministry came to sell their AU on,
yes,
which I am against it. The market women went to buy the things and then took it to the market and sold it times 2 times.
So the issue is now about regulation policy about this market and things, everything. And so all these things come back to the government. What policies are we putting in place to regulate some of these things? If it is not done, if there are food today, you go to the market, 10 cedis, 20 cedis, everything just going up. The reality to we, the buyers, is that things are expensive.
Oh, no, it's true.
Yes. So if you are telling us this, and then there should be a regulation, a means of managing this system. But if you are managing a system and you allow the system not to work, and you say there's food, it doesn't add up. That's why you are saying that the budget should reflect. That's why I'm praying that it should be a miracle budget. Because if policies are supposed to be made, this policy should have. You see, recently they brought the rent policy and they are taking money. Do same in all these avenues.
My rent policy, who told you?
No, it is, even if it is not working, at least some people have started paying. It's a gradual process. So we'll get there whereby they are generating revenue.
Your MPs there, when they come to the chamber, what the 4 years allow upfront, then they are telling you the landlord should take. They take the 4 years upfront for their rent.
So you see the issue is that all these things happen because we don't have proper regulation policy. And even if the policy are there, those who are supposed to spearhead it and make it visible are not doing the right thing. They are not following. So therefore, all these things are there. So what I mean is that this time around, they should be able to stand firm. Leaders should stand firm. We as citizens also should stand firm and hold our leaders accountable. That is the only way things can improve.
They tell us to tighten their belt, but their stomachs are getting bigger.
It's a serious thing. That is why it's left with you and I to hold them accountable. We need to start holding them accountable. So, like to add up to the whole thing.
Yeah. Our expectations in Kaka change, decrement in size.
And I was also talking about the importation should reduce. You see, if we don't reduce those things,
so what should we?
The dollar is going up.
Okay, let's look at the things. Let's look at it one. So what are some of the things that?
So I think government should start putting policy across so that we can stop the importation of those rice and things. We should start helping our farmers, giving them enough resources.
The local rice, you people are not eating.
Oh, we are eating it. We will eat it.
If
the government should enforce the law, we will eat it. You see, when the law is so flexible, that is what's happened. People pass the back door. You said you should stop that, and politicians, some of them will get the access and bring their things in. Then we will still be suffering. So the law should be firm. The government should stand on that too. We should have a long-term project. That is our program. A short-term project, like you were saying earlier on when you were talking about the sport and things, you said when the government comes within 4 years. No, we should have a long-term plan. When you can, you continue. It will help stabilize the system. But when I decide to do anything, I know 4 years time when I come, I make some money and I leave the system and things. It will not help us as a country. So we have to start looking at some of those things.
Hey, Isaac.
Yes, sir.
I would never I wouldn't know party or power.
Yeah.
Why miracles? What's the for budget? Miracle budget.
That is King James, according to Martin.
King James version.
Martin King James.
Now, them budget. I'm sure there be Papa Befi here.
Of course. It has always been like that.
Oh,
a bit more. It gives a lot of relief. A bit more so the expectations of the people are actually not met. And then in that same way, certain group of people's expectations are met. So it depends on where you stand and what you do or your expectations. And as to whether there is anything, station I throw in Anidaso, as to whether Anidaso be war budget anymore and anything. And then per constitution, article 179 now, it gives the president the opportunity to be represented at parliament, say annually and not occasionally by the finance minister. Now, only Ghana for Ember Blue moving ahead, and Sika omode share of mine anymore. Ninyama on pese omoye omoye. Now, we'll start free the issues. You see, I disagree with you when you call those MPs rebels. Yes, you should use the name sensitive and responsible MPs. That is how I call them.
What is a rebel?
They were against.
Who is a rebel?
A rebel is somebody who rebelled to something.
They were saying this is Inyananka said we belong to a group.
Yes.
This is somebody who is leading us. And we say we don't lead him again. The party in general.
Yeah, so they didn't say they don't need the president. They mentioned
it's not the president, it's the finance minister.
Yes, so the finance
they rebelled against the president.
The finance minister didn't leave parliament. So this is the issue. They thought say for some reason or the other. And look, for some time, as members of individual constituencies, I think say we've forgotten why we even vote for our MPs. And these are some of the reasons. One is for them to represent us at parliament.
Beautiful.
Two, every law that will be passed in parliament, it should equally be interpreted for us to understand. Then we give our input as to our voice. Say, voice say, this is what we want you to say at the floor of parliament. That is when technically you represent the people, because then you become the voice of the people from your constituency. So if these individual MPs or more constituents say, this is our view on the finance minister, and we want you to go and echo that in parliament, they've not done anything wrong. Beautiful. In any case, that has been the view of the majority of Ghanaians. So it tells you, say, this is the issue. Now, secondly, ask yourself, say, why is it that until this pressure came, no? Ansana, some funds were released, common fund and other stuff. Yeah, so those areas are dicey areas. Me, I wouldn't want to go into it. I told my chairman point blank, said it's not my duty to tell the president as to whether he should let the finance minister go or not. But he should let his conscience and then the voice of the people echo into his ears as to whether it's prudent for the finance minister to go or not. But my view has always been that even the exit of the finance minister will not bring anything new into the system. You see, when Obama came to Ghana, he mentioned something to us. He said it in a manner that maybe some of us didn't take it serious. Or say we shouldn't build strong men. We should build strong institutions. And that is one of the reasons why developing countries or developed countries are striving. Because you come to power regardless of how powerful you are, the system is there. You need to work according to the system. But Ghana, acquire Bibia Ewoho. And as it stands now, the stand of the majority or the so-called rebels now who can, that me, I refer them as responsible and sensitive MPs, and their stand hasn't changed that much.
Yes, changed.
Because they are of the view, say, Uncle enemy, the president called them. He spoke, the leadership of that group, he spoke to them. He said, okay, this is the issue. According to IMF, and trust me, IMF thing, how much are we even taking from IMF? Right. An individual in Ghana here can give us that money. Trust me, that is the truth. I'll not go back and say it.
Individual of Ghana.
I'm telling you. How much was Jamawun to me going to buy Chelsea?
Nana wasn't no kind of
How much?
No, I'm saying
but
give me a reference. How
no,
much?
but that was just somebody can also say anything. So
how much? He went further.
No, he went where?
He went further.
Where?
You let's not even bring that issue.
He doesn't have
that. I want to tell you that individuals can equally do that. Look, as it stands now, you mentioned, say, the ad hoc committee that worked on the see, trust me, the NDC MPs, they did very well. They did what their constituents asked them to come and do, especially those on the panel, the committee. They asked questions that they are supposed to ask. The MPP MPs there equally did their best. One, to protect their interests, and that is politics. Two, to also speak the voice of their constituents at the committee. But now let's wait for the committee report in any day. But at least there were one or two issues out that some of us felt like, oh, okay, Saturday way, akoso. But in all, no, the MPs still stand on their points. Getting to some extent, no, the finance minister must go. They have all just been convinced that, look, why you demand to baby? Into the moment in the MCO. Now, on ye, I have given you the assurance, people may have their views. But trust me, one way or the other, I feel the finance minister is doing well. But one way or the other also, I thought there are certain lapses that we could or we can equally look at. Now, country and yet the excessive tax on Ghanaians. More. I can't say more are coming, but because you see, honestly speaking, as a state now, every funding that we have, every areas that we generate funds from, majority of those areas, they use as collateral. And PeeKay, you understand me?
Very well.
They use as collateral. So now it's becoming a burden on the state in terms of getting money to pay workers.
Senior, they don't go born, but now who costs them?
We.
Now your finance minister costs them.
Oh, but this, you see, you let me learn. When I learn, you understand me. It's quite difficult for some of these things to come. So for me, I say it's not the miracle thing he spoke about. There can be miracle only when you believe and only when you prepare, and that is what we call miracle and luck. Yes, but my point of view is Anidaso. The budget that is coming is Anidaso. Yes, and that is my point of view, because Yeah, if say taxes are I want so no ebe cut down. For me, I don't foresee say ebe cut down too much. But rather no say tax no cost so now cost kakrampo and I maintain. We should look at other initiatives or programs that are injecting into the economy. Ebe to me, this cover amount for bottom there then ebe pushing the discomfort. Yeah, the discomfort that Ghanaians are going through, and that is why 2 weeks ago this youth initiative for Modibai under the Ghana program you start. And I know for sure that the finance minister will talk about it. He will elaborate on it, and then a program Ghanaians, especially from the age of 18 to 40. There are other subsequent programs than that. There are other programs equally in the system. We have leaves and other things that are taking care of disabled and then the aged. I think say Sika Edimono and Kayende and Koso Kakra. Look, the tax no cost Kakra. Now Sikansu ba man for botoma. You and I will not complain. My brother sitting here is complaining about speaking about the inavailability of food. And I was happy to say Okachi and say it's not about the inavailability. It's the skyrocketing prices of these goods and service within our country. And I perfectly agree with you, say, I think, say, Ghana here, no, we have a lot of laws, unless we want to look at the last laws that says that we should equally implement the other laws. But other than that, we have a lot of laws or bylaws as a state, into me implement it. If the various assemblies do their best to make sure say the revenues say implement it, activities here now, service here, so for me, these are some of the things that I'm expecting from this, especially our excessive importation. And you see, you are right. Say, okay, say we should equally look at programs, long-term programs. You see, we've been financially myopic on some of these things. Each and every program that we should implement and initiate, it should be within 4 years. After 4 years, the program should die off or suffocate. But that shouldn't be the issue. If you have a national plan or national agenda, now follow. Look, we have a lot of lands in Ghana here. Sometimes people argue, I don't think in Nigeria, I say rice, say. Now that Nigerians are not importing rice, they are coerced or forced through their Ministry of Agri to make sure that the rice sector, agriculture sector, is thriving. Because you have a lot of demand that you need to meet. And don't forget. And that is why I'm happy to say some of the efforts Ministry of Finance, Bank of Ghana say on farmer people, especially going to this Christmas, some of the country. I feel said these are some of the things we should look at. Let's look at the long-term programs that
are we prepared?
Planting, we are equally prepared.
Are you prepared? Or 3 questions. Are you prepared?
We are prepared.
Are you prepared?
We are.
Are you prepared?
We are.
You're November.
Exactly.
I did economics in the university.
Okay.
A little. I did geography as well.
Okay.
If you want to do anything, you want to do any policy, you want to come up with any policy, you engage a lot of stakeholders.
Exactly.
If you take a knee-jerk approach, it is because of the depreciation of the city.
Yeah.
That's why they've taken this knee-jerk approach.
Okay.
To me, why I said it won't work.
Okay.
One, do you have the capacity?
So which specific program are you
this
referring
poultry
to?
thing that
okay, maybe let's say
forest. No, I'm not talking about planting. This forest that they said they are not giving it to the people.
Okay.
The people will go to the black market and look for it, and that will make the city worse.
Okay.
That's the truth.
Yes.
Okay. If the banks will give already. I know some industries who go to the black market to get their dollars anyway. If the banks won't give it to them, where will they get it? You need to
go to the black market.
There is demand for those products.
Exactly.
How I'll get them into the country is up to me.
Exactly.
But I don't know. We have a governor of Bank of Ghana, brilliant. He's losing it. Look, this directive, right? You need to be prepared. You want to ban the importation or something of poultry because, in fact, the amount of money we spend in importing things into the country, especially poultry product.
It's so exorbitant.
And let's sometimes I bring my knowledge to bear in these matters because of the geography and I did agriculture geography.
Wow.
And I know what I'm talking about. Wow. Look, if you don't prepare and you take it, I'm here, you say, I won't give you money for you to bring what you do. Okay. So the little in the country, what do? Demand will outstrip supply.
Exactly. And
what does it mean?
Skyrocket prices.
So why do you do this?
Yes, so
sit down, say, okay. He talked about empowering the local industries.
Exactly. And that is where one district, one factory has come to today.
It has failed.
It hasn't failed.
No, it has failed.
Unless you have decided in your mind that it has failed.
Remember.
I'm
asking one question.
Okay.
I'll talk about myself.
Okay.
Apart from eco juice that I find on the market.
Okay.
And then maybe I see Casalopa for quite wonderful.
They are so working.
Remember, give me two.
Okay.
Two.
Okay.
Of some of the food processing area of the 1D, 1F that you find on the market.
Okay. So even in Tema West here, we have Early Life.
What do?
They produce juice.
Do you see them on the market?
They are in the market. They are in the market.
Yes, they
are in the market. Healthy life juice. They are in the market. When we close, let's go and check.
Beautiful.
It's a few minutes drive from here.
Beautiful.
Two. We have tomatoes processing. Exactly.
Beautiful.
Sanyon, it has a challenge in tomatoes.
That's the trouble.
That's the trouble. Three. You see, even though I don't know in cheddar and food we have B5 in Tema West. Extension of B5, which has become one of the biggest industries in Ghana here.
I know about
that is in Bonkatama. Exactly. So we have Central Tiles, which is equally in Bonkatama. So and I can mention a lot.
You
see,
Ashanti regions and Kony, when you come to the food sector, you see, you spoke about the food sector. Yes. I equally agree with you, sir. It needs much attention. And you see, program, you rightly mentioned you need to engage stakeholders and other stuff. Stakeholders engagement, now your feasibility studies, we have something we call pilot project. You know, offer the big program to see challenges a program then you work on those challenges just like health insurance. When we went to mutual health insurance, then we came to national health insurance. You know, this poultry farm thing, there are a lot of poultry farmers in the Ashanti region, even in Greater Accra, that have been empowered. Jefanko and Co. Abino Edin so say, look, because of say importation of this poultry, full poultry side or mobile country and that is putting more pressure on our dollars and other factors in it. We want to empower you people so that you have the strength to produce more for Ghanaians.
Okay.
What's the level of empowerment?
Yes. So it's the level of empowerment involves finances, implementation of one or two things, and the rest. You see? No, you don't. You see, and that is why
from where I'm coming from. Sometimes when I sit here and we're discussing certain things, I get a bit worried.
Okay.
We could do political discussions.
Yes, we should do.
We do things. We can have a national discussion.
Exactly.
But sometimes when the experts come in, people who know that.
Exactly.
If you take your political thing aside,
exactly,
and we sit down and say, okay, we want to push this nation forward.
Exactly.
For me, I've had an extensive discussion with experts in the poultry industry. They said it doesn't have to start with where you have talked about.
Okay.
You have talked about.
Okay.
First, plant maize. Do plantations. Thousands and thousands of acres of land for maize production for like 5 years. You understand? You know what that is for? No, a feed.
So let me
soya.
Yes, let me also.
So once you've done that, then gradually, you know, and it has to be gradual. Let's say if you import 500,000 tons of the product in a year. So once you've done that and you start to say, okay, from next year we are doing 450. From the following year we are doing 400. Then gradually you are coming. But when they start the economy,
okay.
You see, let me come in here. PeeKay, you mentioned that stakeholders engagement. Say about the poultry industry now. Who are the stakeholders? Apart from our buying side, is it not the certain leaders of Omo companies?
Good.
So certain people, in the course of engagement, what are your challenges? Okay, feed. One, they are two. Feed now is very costly. So finance, they are two. We want to expand your businesses. Anka land, anka ebe boye. And now before we can relocate that, we cannot expand our business. So land, so all the things you are mentioning of goes into the stakeholders engagement. Two, anytime you want to establish a business, one of the first things you need to consider is proximity of the factory to raw material. One, demand. And nothing I will come about 5 years of planting. Right now, and nothing I will come 5 years of planting corn. So demand. Two, let me tell you one of the things that Ghana has. Factories are the Omega sugar factory. So I'm not saying this to chastise the NDC because 6 years I have 6 years sugar cane won't be a delay 6 months to 7 months. It should be ready. So we can't blame NDC say up to now. I want me and yet I want me and yet and so you buy engineering. So we didn't want to talk about that. But why will you build a company when the raw material will be used? And it's not for instance say availability of raw material is key. So if the modern time. So if the poultry farmers
let me come.
I'm coming. Let me tell you one thing. Anytime an investor will come into this country, now obeying raw material, and that raw material will depend on the government. He goes into an agreement with the government, say, you will provide me raw material. Either that, and if you go to them, there are a lot of companies or might die because that agreement didn't go on well, and then
the commander sugar factory don't go there. As a young man growing up, I lived around there. Okay. Right?
I'm also from that side.
I'm different people altogether.
Okay.
Me who commander sugar factory, you see, actually you don't want to blame them. I will blame the NDC. Okay. Me. Yeah. For where I sit. I will blame them.
So after 6 years of us to come.
Oh, China, what's the baba? You come and build a factory. As you are building the factory, lands now need to do a commander assure. They move one. And you're not a fan violet. And then they say, I've change the colors. It used to be violet. You call it violet. Okay. Move one. Commander sugar factory. Everyone, you're there. Okay. And I'm not sure what color. Yes, it's different. Yeah. Now, lands now need to do a share. I don't know what was a non-traditional export. Yet done need to do a pineapple and other things. So that is. Those are some of our issues. The suchari is there.
Okay. Price.
Right? Yeah. The suchari or sugar cane as well.
Yes, they have sugar cane there.
Water region sugar cane
there. There are a lot of places.
This time,
you comment that
Commander, Abransa, all the way they are to Shaman. That's what we're doing. Exactly. All you do, listen, and I'll give you the reason why you failed. The one I appeal, they were offering a much higher price for the sugar cane than the factory. So maybe I should now, when you are a factory, yes, so you come and buy at a lower price. Why the appeal give me a higher price?
I'll move there. Yes.
So I won't plant what you want.
So what justify for now? What justify someone making
that is what I'm saying there. One yard there. Now want to where you're full for what?
They couldn't even do it.
Political party in Ghana. You've come somebody.
That's You just improve upon it. Learn from their mistake and correct it.
No, I'll tell you. Let me example. Okay. The person who started Eco Juice, the factory, is my friend.
Okay.
He learned from the Commander Factory sugar experience.
Okay.
Oba and also, you know what? If you remember, it was the first factory I worked at sword.
Yeah.
And it was the one of the last few to come on stream. You know what? He had a lot of fights.
Yeah.
At that time, no their politics. Also, he didn't allow anybody. Let me take my time and do it. They wanted him to commission because I'm not ready. He made sure that pineapple now would be, and they were ready. And so it's going to be an all year round. So March we use this side, April we use this side. May, the man all year round.
Crop rotation. Yes.
That's what he did. Now, Osia from the commander thing. That's what I'm saying. When you come, you build on somebody's thing. Right? The things he did, industry secret, but I'll talk about it. Kakra. He didn't engage the people directly in the beginning. This is what we do to ourselves. Mecca, 1D1F, Obibaka, 1 Yama away and all good. Some of them have started collapsing, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
The moment they have the money, they start employing, which is wrong. Who are you employing? These ones, when they started the plantations. They are taking the farmers. 1 year plantation office. There was no need for you to let anybody sit at the office because 1 year free.
You have 5
mobile.
to 6, 7 months duration.
At this, once they get the money, start office, administration, HR, this
showcase. Showcase.
That's what I'm saying. There is an industry system. I'll just they start picking the people up. So by the time you start the actual production in a year, your wage bill is once productivity be as well. So some of these things. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you need somebody to tell you, okay, Uncle Abani, you want to do this. Other times I want even the technocrats. Okay, sometimes I want people to do proper analysis. You can say you want to do this. School. The theory we learned, but when you get to the practical field,
it's a different story altogether.
We did, but when it comes to the practical skills, you see that what you learned be different. I've learned so many theories. Journalism school, they teach me so many things. You come and you are interviewing somebody, and the thing they've taught you, interviewing skills, all gets lost.
That's why we have on the job training.
It's just a guide for you. Oh, these things will happen. I remember my first interview with Ghana Team Association. The man insulted me, I insulted him back. Maybe in America, sorry. Then they called me and said, it's not Ghana, it's a reflex action. And I've learned next time when somebody insults me.
Okay, let me also come back. Let me come in at this time.
The finance minister today will put smiles on the faces of Ghanaians, and the Black Stars will put those smiles to the extreme.
Okay.
And then the Anidaso budget will be ready and everybody will be comfortable.
Okay. Please, I just want to make some small inputs.
Okay.
First of all, I would like to look at the payments of common fund before budget. You see, the common fund is supposed to help build the constituency from time to time. So if governments should just hold on to the money, and when it gets to budget reading, when the MPs start raising concern, they will not agree, and you come in to pay them, it doesn't add up. It looks like then the system is not working. You can't wait until any time or delay what is supposed to give the people to work with. And I think this government is not doing well in that regard. The MPP government is not doing well. Because the money is supposed to be a quarter, 3 months money that is supposed to come. Sometimes you keep it like four times it doesn't come.
Money no day.
And the money now, if it's budget, because you want to read the budget at all costs to meet demand, you go and pay. So what are you doing to the country? You are not helping the constituency. That's why the constituency are so suffering. And it's reflecting in so many MPs. maybe the opposition MPs, they are giving us something small at the back door, so they are able to do well. But when it comes to the ruling government, they are giving us something small. But when it comes to the opposition, very difficult. Very difficult. Then to add to that, we are all talking about 1D, 1F, and food. A lot of food are there. The question is, when the system is working well, we will not have shortage. We will not have prices going up every day. If the production is going on well in 1D, 1F, everything is moving well, the food market will also be stable. If there's more food in the system, we will also see reduction in prices. So what I'm trying to say is that at the end of the day, whatever they are doing, like we are saying, some of them, they are not real. You go and partner with one company and tell you that I'm coming from 1D, 1F, just to make name. Most of them are not real. Most of the companies just about going to sit down with a brother and him, sign agreements and things. It's there. You go and you find a lot of them are there. And it's one of the challenges we are facing. You see, we should be realistic about whatever is happening. Put the real structure in place. Hold our government accountable. But if you always want to defend them and things, tomorrow it will be our future. Our children will come and suffer. The same thing will keep going on. So what I would like to say is that the government is failing us in this regard. So much fake promise. You see, 3-time budgets have been read and nothing has come out. We are still suffering. And he's saying, no. That's what I'm saying. I pray that it should be a miracle budget. If not, so it can never happen.
Honorable Dorcas, let me see if I can go to Jomara. Today there's a big. Okay, I was trying to speak to Honorable Dorcas, the Jomara MP, who has been retained. For 2 years now, she's been battling at the courts. Somebody was challenging her eligibility. And then, Kampana Mukoshe, Ravana is in command. Our beautiful daughter, oh, never name you, Jonia, but interesting. That's a very beautiful daughter.
PeeKay.
Yeah, Mobile Mita. I like to speak to her. And then the way when this if MPs in your when you have him walk or court one. Will see and come Okay, I think I have Honorable Dorcas on the line. Good morning, madam. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What's the name? What's the name?
Onyamina.
Baby, I find you. Says you want to see you free. For 2 years in Yemen, with a battle or court, but one Kasana is sure that you are going to win your case. I've seen the level of support you get from Ejeju Tamakulu and the rest of the MPs. What was supported was Secunde Court. How do you...
I can barely hear anything.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Faint, right? I was asking how you feel now that you are, everybody accepts you as a full-blooded Ghanaian and an MP.
Oh, wow. Most of the time, I thank him for how far he has brought. He has dedicated me. All along, and of course, taking through it. When I said, I'm amazed to put up the and the caucus. I'm very grateful and even complain.
Wow. Well, we're talking to Honorable Dorcas. She's the MP for Jomara. She's won her case. For about 2 years now, she's been battling at the courts. We'll be challenging eligibility, but finally. Mapochona may be so, Nampadam be Sunday, dead. The court case distracted her from performing her parliamentary duties. Even at the constituency level, I've been there twice. Nam should me home. But anyway, let me come back to the studio. Okay. Auntie Dorcas. Let me be so there. The court case, did it distract you from performing your duties fully as an MP?
This is not helping.
Hello.
We are very noisy.
Okay, we'll try and call you again. Okay, Honorable Dorcas, that's the MP for Jomara, that's what we're talking to her about. We wanted to ask her there whether the court case actually distracted her from discharging her duties fully as an MP. Sometimes, you may be too finting along the line, this is what you want to do. You want to do something for your constituent, there's a court case, and court is no quite Mama, could you go for 1 to go court, maybe and do crowd.
Toxin, go and come anyway.
It's not an interesting place to I've always, with my little experience, advised people, say there are certain issues, and I remember one of the court 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and I wouldn't mention the jurisdiction, but judge in the country or movie know the case, especially the other case in the buy and say, and the case was around 2 p.m. I'm afraid a case, and also your Monday, and also some of it now, and no beside the defender knows the way the that was one of the home your man, not the free and apartment, you know, a money involving 1,005. And I'm with the other quarter. How do you see this? So I use this as a test case and then always tell people, say, if there are any other means or alternative issues by
ADRs should help us.
Yeah, so since most of the courts in Smoma, they say ADR. The more case now normal refer to ADR. But sometimes you see ADR you do quite. And yet, Obi and lose.
There were negotiations.
Waste time a few waste time at the bar. Not at least Obi and one. But at that point, you know, so do over and the name. So then they take the case back to court.
Ego and pride.
That is when an issue of I was advising someone. Obi in the car, they say court case. Obuko ADR na ADR for say Nipanintia within 1 month or so to Mintia. Within 1 month, here money 2 months, and the parents go on paying court. And one of the guys was telling me, and I'm going to say, advise your brother. Non-country and say 2 months, not so big year. Because if you take it back to court 1 year, not if they are court in years, our case way.
I knew somebody who they were looking for a divorce, then they went to court. Along the line, the woman became pregnant.
That's a nice case.
You become fed up because
no,
we use it for productive hours. And trust me, sometimes you sit down here for a case, I see a postpone.
You see,
it's not it's a good place, say, if there are other means are able to meet the resolve assembling to me to do one man. Trust me, I think we should fall on that need.
And
it comes with financial implications.
Yeah. I think that the court itself is some cases shouldn't even go to court. Yes. Some cases we should you see the human institution, if we can understand each other, so many things shouldn't be taken to court. It doesn't make sense. You go there, you see somebody will be so serious, and when you get in the hand of the police and you are at the court and things are happening before you realize that no, I need to calm down. Then it's too late. So we shouldn't be wasting our money, our resources and things going to court sometimes, unless the case is very dicey and need to be there. So the institutions can also relax a little. If not today, you can go to court and you postpone the case 1 month, 2 months, and you want solution, and you will now be delaying. What's the dicey situation that they need to handle? But because of these small cases they need to handle too, they also have to patch in and delay some processes. So I believe the woman, like the way we are trying to, it has not been easy for her as an MP, yes, because every court case will take your time, it will distract you, yes, and people, you have to go here, seek advice, document and other things. So now that she has been relieved, I believe she's going to find it more comfortable and do better.
If it's a more serious case for court, the day before I ever for a case, no one can to me down. One your brother says they will read down to me
Master, what nowadays people think about that
pressure?
It's not easy.
I think we sleep.
Of course, the woman, the MP, they have been distracted one way or the other. But me coming from the other side, we welcome her and we want her to move on and do the work as MP to do the needful things for Health constituency.
Dorcas, go all out and do your best.
Yes, we are with you.
NDC food, they are here.
Yeah, we are with her.
And for once, they are praising the judicial process.
Yes.
Of course, Avon Lanka was unanimous everything.
But the 7 years we see also.
You started winning your cases.
Oh no.
We
should have won the earlier one so that.
This one you won.
Oh, this one we won it.
Facing is also in court. This one you won.
In terms of what, and that is the area I'm personally because for a while we've been bastardizing the very place. If we have issues, we need to resort to, and sometimes things may not go in our favor one way or the other. Say the issues are coupled, but the way a man ever out here bastardize your mind. These are the same areas, places we go in when we have challenges and we need to be resolved. So for me, I will tell my NDC people that we should be circumspective about some of these things, the issues we must say about, because you can't say so MP and only there no some can say she is not a Ghanaian anchor on the null and void in way now the candidature as the MP of the area prison when so air attach so you can just imagine what she has gone through.
Yeah, she has gone through a lot.
As what has delivered, be it for us or against us, a judicial service is always there to help us.
One experience I had from courting is about the interference from outside bodies.
Hey.
Yes, I also had a case at the court before I tried. Even as at now, I had a high court and Supreme Court. I've been to Supreme Court, I've been to High Court. No, it's about some accident issue and things. You realize that there are other forces. Sometimes you go, a document is being served. They will tell the lawyer, will tell they've served this document. Your lawyer will say, I've not gotten it. There are a whole lot of issues in the system. And that is one reason why sometimes these cases delays and issues. You'll be surprised that there's a document needed to do a case and deliberately sit on it. So the system is not working. There are a lot of things wrong.
The system is working. Yes, as you mentioned, it's a human institution. So therefore, some of these things
we want it to be out. We want it to be improved. So they want better system. Yes, we want. Yes, let's improve. Human institution.
I get confused some of the time.
So
anytime people could be a human institution, finance ministry, things are not
human institution. If you accept
depreciating
human institution, then when will the things be right?
The two of you, the two of you,
yes.
You've talked about expectations of the budget. People are calling for cuts in expenditure. When we say MPP, is it possible?
It's possible.
How?
Yeah, for me, I sense the possibility. One, say a cut in expenditure. One from the presidency, that is the Billy House, that is where I'm looking at, and people assume say, so there should be a cut. The second one, the various ministers are honestly speaking, from my point of view, I think certain ministries can just be merged.
Thank you.
If some can be even placed under authority, let's say transport, you have ABO, you have Ghana Port and Harbour Authority being headed by a CEO, a chef. We Asia, now Port and Harbour, now rules anyone young. Some of these things, that issue is an issue that we can talk about it some other day. But I think, let's say a ministry like sanitation, environment, works and housing, some of these ministries can just
come together and
be merged, because a lot of money is going into these sectors, especially when Ghanaians' expectations in certain levels are not been met. So the agitations and no. Secondly, deputy ministers, I said we should reduce the deputy ministers.
Your president will be happy with you.
I think some of these areas, when we look at, and it's part of some of the issues that MPP paying for, president in him said we actually need to look at these things because you see the voice of the people is the voice of God. Oppressors and maybe can say silence means consent.
Help
Okay.
us to
You can't suppress people not to speak and then you say silence means consent. It means that they agree on that, which I totally disagree. But going forward, no, I know that today the finance minister will actually put smiles on our face, and I keep on saying this.
This man is talking about cutting tax.
Yes.
I've asked about expenditure.
Yeah.
Government revenue is nothing
To rise from
and then I show up revenue.
The revenue is nothing to write home about because people are disappointed. I get it. You see, there are some revenue and people.
When you say people are disappointed, what does disappointment got to do with revenue?
Yes, what I will back him.
You see,
that's what I will agree with. People have
Now you have become back.
no. People, you see,
let me trumpet the thing. Mami Kanye. People have lost confidence in the economy.
So you know pay.
You see, let me give you
people have lost confidence because let me bond instruments and other things.
Yeah.
Those who are holding it were ton.
Yeah.
Because they've lost confidence.
Exactly.
That's what.
treasure bills and
So that's what he's talking about.
I agree, but it has nothing to do.
let me give you another scenario. Let me give you another scenario too. You see, Monkatamanso is have been rated as among maybe the first 5 constituencies in Ghana with much revenue mobilization, but the same constituency, no development. When the government, especially our current government, they are in power. No. The other ones I'm saying, but they are in power and they are the central government. They are controlling things. You come to the people, you take money from them. At the end of the day, you don't bring anything back to the people.
What does your assembly do?
The assembly is not doing much. Yes, they are not. The common fund service is not coming. So how would they be? The assembly fund, it's not even coming. They don't. The government is not giving it. No, the government is not bringing it.
I'm not talking about central government. You yourself, you are not doing enough.
Oh, we are doing enough.
The property rates and other things that they are paying. Where do you spend that money?
When we take property rates,
yes,
and the people take their money, and tomorrow I ask for gutter. Next day I ask for social, so we are not paying. So the people have now decided not to pay. Yes, the work they are not bringing it, so people are not happy. People are not happy.
I am by my example, and you're fine. I once had a good relationship with a Mayor. But it is there are people that are assembly.
Remember,
I once had a good relationship with the Mayor. At that time, they were doing this monthly, what do you call it, clean up thing.
Oh, okay.
Then one day,
that's NDC time.
I said I once had a relationship. One day, and the amount of money they were spending on the thing was huge.
Exercise.
Yes, every month. And one day I called him and said, it was like, oh, Taddy boy, you two, they worried too much. I said, oh, we can do it. Then I spoke to him. Then I was with him in his office. We drafted a letter. We sent it to Tor at that time. We wanted diesel. We sent it to Crocodile Market. We wanted market. We sent it to this. We sent it to Everpure and others. We wanted water. This. We got the things done on that particular day. The trucks from Zuna and other things. Yama on by 6 gallons or so. Obia, what to get anyone? We did the work smoothly. Now, after we finished, the assemblymen and others were not happy because one plan we are sitting allowance. Like some expenditures can be curtailed.
Yes.
Yet no, I looked at it when it finished because if you were a woman, was a clean up, right? Tracks no, but when you put no more, so okay, I'm giving you tracks for free, but you fuel it.
Yeah.
Then you could in a filling station now fill. Oh, use quarter of that no waka pack. Did the person help you or what?
No, it's not helping.
That's what we're doing. The assembly we're buying water. Now, say there are so many water companies operating on your land. Right to them, they're paying you. What the chairman?
As they are corporate.
That's why I'm saying some won't often they are not doing well. Go to these people and tell them what you need. Don't tell me I want money. I want money.
But the issue is that they are in power. We go to them, we give them all the necessary advice. They don't take it. He knows it. They don't take it. That's why we are suffering.
See, the issue of they are in power. They are in power.
You see, the issue is that
my brother.
The issue is that
you are a young man.
Yes.
The area that you are talking about, I know that area very well.
Okay.
And Katamanso Municipal Assembly is rated as one of the municipalities that are generating revenue. And rightly, as Mibra PeeKay, I think it relies on you and me to take some of this advice or the that we don't always seek or go to the assembly say sometimes. And one of the things that I've even learned from Yempe Info also say when you want them to do something, they want to see your commitment. So it's like meeting your MC and telling him, I know they are doing resurfacing of roads in your area. Bob City, they are doing something there. Ponkata Manso, Hacho, they've done something there. As it stands now, we are resurfacing. And speaking from what he mentioned of, who call MC or MC, this is what we want to do. But I can't wait anyway. You can say you so immediately they see your commitment in that program. I think it's a lesson we need to follow. But as it stands now, you were adding emotions to why people wouldn't want to pay tax. And of course,
I'm not adding emotion. I think, you see, let's look at reality on the ground. You see, when you are trying to make the thing look so good or obvious, when people are suffering, people pay for service and they are not getting a return. Sometimes you don't get the best out of it.
So you demand.
So what? Another issue is that thing. I have the assembly, they come. I'm a unique committee member. They come. We ask them questions. We demand for things, but we don't get it. We place our demand. So it's not like we are not placing the demand to the government, but the government is not giving us. So the question then is, what can we do? You see, you have a lesser power. You can only place a demand. Maybe you try to do so and so, but you don't have the authority to carry everything on. So
the fine tea. I'm just telling you the
we get it.
Ways of getting things. I mean, growing up, I once worked with a radio station. You were one a billboard or by assembly in the bed, the billboard sit down in between. I said, okay. Oh, what in sky was okay. Once or bed, oh, we in a year. Oh, giddy, no one was an announcement. At that time, we were doing it for free. We were doing it for free. Yeah, but I need to one invoice. Oh, what in sky? Now, maybe body will sit down. Let me go to my Facebook page and read some messages here. Hitopel Jr. said, more fire, Martin. You're doing a good job for the NDC. I like your composure and level of intelligence. Keep schooling the MPP guy in the studio. But Usumak said that's all. Usumak said today Black Stars are scoring 3 goals against Portugal. Hey, somebody say Martin is a firebrand. We should always embrace the hard truth. This government has really disappointed us. Charlie, abandon me. First term of Nanado. Top notch. Second term.
Bad.
Why? First term, they call him the one. So now I'm seeing that it was borrowing that was sustaining the economy. But some things, if I look, now listen, everybody. Other words in Eska as a Ghanaian, as a nation, one, energy levy sector debts. Waiting Eska, fine. Second, banking sector reforms. What we have cash field. Third, free SHS. Back one Demian. Please, let's be careful. I don't know budget what's we need. There's a budget or a miracle budget. We are going to say there's something that I want us to veer off the budget for today. We've talked about soccer. We've talked about budget. And there's been calls for constitutional review. Some of our things that we're doing. I was with Odike not too long ago. He called for what's the Unigolf. President Kufuor is somebody who doesn't shy away from certain things. I respect him for his statesmanship. That man is great. President Kufuor, wherever you are,
God bless you.
God bless you. I don't know. Maybe I fell in with him the day I interviewed him one-on-one in the studio. That was around the first time that we were going for the presidential stuff when he came out. Somewhere around 2000, that was when I interviewed him one-on-one. Then I fell in love with the man. I spoke to President Mills as well within a 3-day interval. So some of them one-on-one. Now in the recently held he said that we don't need a Council of State. We need a second chamber. McKay in the last address to the nation, State of the Nation address, as he was leaving, he made sort of proposals, but he am fine, President Mills Bay, we had a chance to do constitutional review. We went through all the regions, and I think also in Ghana any government white paper. If the government has a white paper, implement what you don't come and solicit my views and afterward. Even them are essentially we were baby and the committee decided that. Now the ex-president has been talking. Is it time? Is it that the Council of State shut down for so now the Council of State what do they do? What's what to president? What I would tell you, the election that we do, the appointment that we make, the broad body. It didn't feel that we're a partisan, and I haven't seen any Council of State member apart from those elected that 1 year affiliate to a particular political party. So I'm asking. President Kufuor has made his mark. He's a great statesman. I mean, being a deputy minister at the age of 27, going on to become a president. My government, Mr. Pfeiffer, YAB, is calling for a second chamber to replace the Council of State. Martin, what's our next start? What do you think?
Yes, I think, first of all, I also like to say we have a fine gentleman. That's our former president. And people, like when he speak, we need to listen to them because they have been there. He was there, the advisors were there, the Council of State were there. But the question is, you see, the Council of State is losing its relevance day in, day out. And especially this particular time. Why am I saying so? There are a lot of things going on wrong in the system. The country is becoming hard. And those people are supposed to advise the president. And the question, one thing he said is that it's either the president decided to listen to them or not. So at the end of the day, you call somebody to come and advise you. And the president does not have any special power or authority apart from the advice to implement some of the things he's telling you. Then it's just a mere speech. When I decided to turn deaf ears to whatever the person is saying. So that is the first most important thing. All these things is coming because I believe strongly that the president, the former president, is also bear with us the level of suffering that the Ghanaians are going through. I have realized that no, there are a lot of things that need to be improved. The president needs to listen to us. And you see, when he was giving the advice, he spoke about a second chamber. And he spoke about matured people with good character, proven record to be selected. People proven record to be selected. Indirectly, it's telling us that some of these people who are selected based upon friendship, political affiliation. They come there, they just come there to enrich their pocket and things. They are not doing the right thing. Because if they are doing the right thing, we don't need a second review of this whole process. And the question is the president listening? 1 hour in the air, presidential travel, you're going to spend $1,800 per hour. All those things, the question is, who is advising the president? All these things must stop long time. Our country is going down. Like you are saying, today the president is at Qatar trying to watch the match. To you, you feel it's just not the best. But the question is, who advises the president on some of these things? Because we need to save money. We need to cut down on this, we are saying cut down on presidential staff and things. All these wrongful steps that's being taken by the president also add up. And the question is, who is advising the president in this regard on some of these things? And this comes back to the reason why some of our renowned people, politicians, academians, are all calling on the president or reforming the constitution that we can cut down on our the number of the Council of State or change them. And you see, one good thing that he said I was happy is that he said they should be continuous process. It shouldn't be based upon when this government comes, you take them off. That means that a long-term project is the only way we can move our country forward. That is the implication of whatever they are trying to say. We should have people that will put them at the hem of our affair that really thinks about the country, not to enrich their pocket. That within the 8 years I'm a Council of State member, I will not become a Council of State member again. So let me make my pocket. Let me do things to please the government so that the government will continue to give me whatever I want. And that is where we are as a country. So in going forward, I think the reform is the best way out. But I think our current president also needs to listen more. Listen to us. Yes, he needs to listen to us more. You see, there will be complaints in the system. things are not going on well. Today we are all saying that today's budget we are praying that Anidaso. All these things before the Anidaso budget or every previous budget came, there have been advices on the budget. It's not just an individual person who write the budget. It's a team. They even seek views. Who is advising on these things? It's all come back, not only the people, the team there. When they take everything, you get to the president's office. People advise across. And I think the council of state members are also there. But if you get renowned people, academia, people with high level of quality as the president will propose, and they can put in proper input, I think it will help. So I'm also of the view that I support what the president is saying. But I'm also saying that he's saying this at a point when his own government is in power and things are getting bad. So he knew whatever is. And I think this is the best time. It's also a signal to the MPP government that things are really getting bad and they need to improve upon things. The country is not going as expected.
Okay, Bremen.
Yeah, so as you rightly mentioned of one of the statements that I always look up to is the former president, His Excellency, President John Adekunkufo. Growing up, I was fortunate at a secondary school and a regime. So I had the opportunity to see a lot of things and as it stands now, my views on him hasn't changed and haven't changed and will never change. So he did a great service to this state when he was the president. And such person, Okasa, I say, I remember his time, we had a lot of challenges in the system. Maternity death, it was a huge challenge on us. Not only that, in Makra to make a war hospital, so then the woman and then the child ends up dying, being in the hospital. And I think Christian Cheche uncle and I'm saying no. The late Gladys Asmamo, policy be brand and find them from bois. PeeKay, as it stands now, say me catch that man phobia or more shedding who for time. Say there was a time in Ghana had no more. Who what to send a baller car, a bit more blue on PPPP, a baller car. There was a time in Kufo's time, not gas for a baby people in that dynamic. I mean, my late grandmother, I'll say, mood is there, gas, a car, about him, say, gas car about. See, grandma bed, better gas. The health sector now, and I had the mutual health insurance, I did buy it. So there were a lot of programs on the buy. And trust me, people who were working that time, especially in the government side and then the private side, made a lot of money. Because at that time, so not banking sector, not loans money, na was so. And that was when cars in Kitwe or Modifro Mountains, buy. So most of the banking institutions, nice ladies, be no matter, and they move from companies to companies. Some of them amount for loans. So for me, I've seen what he has done, and therefore, me who say everything that he will talk about, anything that he will say about the states, in as much as MPP, buying ahead, I also know he has a say, and he's a stakeholder in the party. And that very says should be what? Taken into consideration. Now, for a while, no one say on Kasabibri and Fanyam, but you see, Penny will fear a year. Some of the youth in amount for Kawansem, you say, no Cresse, former President Kofo MPC, at Womofu, any of my Kasa. And that has calmed the tension within the MPs, in the chamber. Say, okay, let's change our mind as to whether it's true or not true. No, but for me, he has been playing a big role behind the scenes to make sure say things are put in place. And for us, yes, he say some of the Nyama Okano say boy. Now, Council of State, over other documents, they refer them to as small body of prominent men or prominent citizens, analog to the council of what? Of elders in the traditional political system. I agree with
not buying poll. They just advise the president. And it is for the president to
take it or not. That's why.
And they pay them.
Exactly.
Huge money.
And you see, in terms of Aban, who is the head of that Aban is the president. So, and looking at their numbers, for me, I feel say, and let us not even say all of them are appointed. Some were actually elected because a constitutional mandate.
The original ones are elected.
That is why it has always been my point, even when NDC was in power, said we should find a means to review our constitution.
But President Nels had a chance.
Yes.
But
what happened?
When
former president Mahama took over, we saw say, oh no more maybe more. We're thinking say a back out. But trust me, it has always been the game. If you write the story, you need to tell the story to your side.
I agree.
We need to do something to salvage the situation of the state, and that shouldn't be the responsibility of only NPP. The NDC, other political parties, and even individuals who do not affiliate with any political party, to what? To bring their views. From my point of view now, I feel say even this state council of state members, one of their responsibilities should equally be say, Omudi Omason Ebekwa Tale Ghana for Akumaho, etie senior Makuma Eden, but the political temperature within the states, no matter what president, and they say, say, Neko, it is a sad year, and you're too for Sanka, we see a bed, a bed.
Let me quote President Kufuor and then we take the discussion further. I'm quoting him direct. We limit the uses of the Council of State to advising just the president. And that often the president decided whether or not to take the advice. So I've gone through all these periods and I've come to a conclusion. Perhaps what our constitution should have to temper the streams of democracy is not a Council of States, but a second chamber. Second chamber well composed, not on basis of democracy so much. Democracy should always be implied in there, but not entirely democratically, but more on proof and experience. Proof in public spiritedness, prudence, maturity, care for the nation, inclusive. If we do that and allow the second chamber to operate openly in full glare of publicity, then the wisdom that will be issued from their deliberations would impact not only the president, unquote. This is the president talking. And he went on to say that we should limit the powers of the president as well. And he was calling for an amendment of the section of the constitution that also say that 50% of ministers should be appointed from parliament.
Yeah, so the fact say we should take a second look at our constitution, which has always been my stance.
So that's the more reason I also feel like those people are not they're not even powerful. Because if the president, whatever I tell the president, if he decides to listen, fair enough. If he doesn't decide, that means that you only have a limited authority. You can't even
authority.
They have authority.
No, it's limited.
You're going to take a monthly pay.
No, that one is just to that one is just added up to our. You see,
authority to have other privileges. They have privilege, traveling privilege.
So
Council of State, they have power.
So can you return at chopping?
The former presidents, the demonstration of their power can be determined as to whether
it said something instructive that the second chamber, for instance, shouldn't have a term limit.
Yes, continuing a long term. Yes,
fixed to the president.
Yes.
Yeah. So you could move, and then the second chamber will be there. So it's talking about development.
Yeah,
but it thrives well in other countries. But Ghana, will it work?
That's the question.
African countries for
it will work for a time. You remember when the judges issue came, all of a sudden certain names pop out in the jurisdiction at which they became judges. The president, the judicial, the party then that sworn them in as judges, and so therefore it was determined. The petition, twice petition I happened in 2012, 2016. People were saying, it's obvious that this regime for the judges will buy. So for some time, what he's talking about will work, but it will still be politicized. as we move ahead.
You see,
but for me,
and you see when you talk about full glare of the public now.
Yeah.
When the Council of State meets the president, some will catch
we don't see anything. So they are relevant.
They normally close the door.
You see, and the issue about them, the issue we are bringing us in terms of the jails and other things. You see, our rules are not being followed. You see, when the route is strict, okay, we have appoint council of state members or whatever. This is whatever you have to do. When you feel or there's a system, you advise, there's a committee, you report and everything. When you're not doing well, you can be taken on. But if the thing is not there, it's just a closed door.
Modality.
Just a modality. Just to enrich some people, put money in somebody's pocket. But I think it was better during some time. But this particular time, it's not good at all.
And it's the same constitution that is saying that, PeeKay, the room that you are in now, if by any means you find the opportunity or you are privileged to say, oh, Adiachina, you won't say, I said, the beef reform over, it looks real like crude oil. And now, be yellowish, be, they will, I say, I have good, and now share not anymore, I say, good particles or be one. So constitution they say even though a older ultimate was as a hotono at that very moment now no say we report him mind menya BBC say at that very moment fear becomes a national security zone and at that very moment no say we there and you see and the law is very blind on what happens to the occupants and now that leads us to the issue of the galamsey and it has always been my point say look PeeKay, people in power, both NDC and NPP, say, and then almost see that guarantee. You get me that guarantee.
What is guarantee?
Destructive mining. Illegal and destructive mining.
I do.
Say, I been say, and it all comes on to the issue I agree on, say, there should be a program.
So wait, let's not veer off. Are we buying the ex-president's view? You think?
Sure.
Now, one thing that I want us to look at it. He said it. Well, you know the amount of money we spent, over $3 million on the constitutional review thing that we are trying.
Yeah.
And then the government issues a white paper on it. We all agree that you MPP, you deceived us. You told us we elect MMDCs. What is happening to that now?
Oh, but
it's true.
I said what is happening.
It's true.
See,
So,
the issue,
and you know the effect of the election of the.
Your people opposed that.
I went.
It was.
But we voted you into power.
It was an indoor thing that both NDC and PP agree. There was an issue
right
that they also wanted to battle with, and then the parliamentarians, the NPP parliamentarians were like, "Oh, okay, with the infant tour."
No infant tour.
Then all of a sudden they took a U-turn and then were saying that,
"Oh, so what is happening?" Was that not a campaign promise?
Yes.
And that is subject to constitutional review.
Now, what is wrong with it? On your referendum, neighbor.
Yes, so it's a referendum clause.
On your referendum, neighbor.
What happens to the referendum? It was because they opposed it.
So the question, let me ask you again. So you pay. No, it will favor. You paying the common fund or that into the MP prior to budget. Yeah. What is the signal you're trying to put? It's the same thing you are trying to talk about. You see, you are trying to. No, it's wrong. You see. Let me give you one thing that is happening in most constituency. Especially when you are in opposition. It will come to the MPP 10. What happened mostly is that the MP, no, in 20 years, you are even losing the seats as we are sitting here. You wish by now you should have packed up because the heat on you people is too much. They are suffering.
Are they losing?
They are suffering. See what is happening. They've lost already.
Hey, more on to me.
Oh, they've lost already.
I've told you we are dealing with Real Madrid until the final whistle.
Don't worry, we are also ready. This time around, it will not be like the past. We are ready for them.
So, mistake, I'm coming from mistake Wonder Vuka inside in Sao Madrid. As usual, today's budget will be full of rhetoric, more hardships, empty promises, and lip services. It's inalienably clear and undeniable fact that majority in Parliament are indecisive and confused as the Nanado Dr. Bawumia-led government. Why the sharp U-turn by the majority to now support Ken Ofori-Atta? The future is indeed pregnant. Married to Chairman of Usampa, the next chairman. Dr. Peter Otukono as General Secretary and Chief Baine as National Organizer. Good morning. I'm Eben from Kwabenya. The MPP led by incompetent President Nanado can't deceive us anymore. If Asempa Ejuma pa budget that made Aboso kind traders jubilate in their life brought them sorrow. How can 2023 budget they claim COVID and Russia-Ukraine war has destroyed the economy, changed things? These liars of MPP have no shame. Retain Chairman of Osuampofo. Vote Alhaji Nazuru for Deputy Communications Officer and Madi Jibril for National Organizer, as well as every Efriye Anchor for General Secretary. Some of the messages.
So I was saying that the MC, when they try to elect them, what happened is that the MP is seen as the main development agent in the constituency, but they forgot that the MP just lobby. He also play a key role. But the MC, but you see, the MC decide with the government in power. So when it happens like that, the MCA people are always hiding at the back door, making the MP suffer. And that is one reason why the development within some constituencies are not really moving. So electing the MC would help, because they also come to account to the people, and the people will also demand from there. You promised so and so when you came in that you should elect you. So that level of things should be worked on. It will help in the future. I think it's one thing that we need to look at.
I think we'll have to take a holistic look at the organogram when it comes to how the assembly functions, the functions and then the duties and responsibilities of an MMDA and then the MP.
People, the MPs, they talk big on campaign trail.
But Ghanaians like sweet words.
You don't construct when the roads come also by kind of. I've seen communicators come here and give credit to MPs for roads. Meanwhile,
a lot of things,
but they lobby it. They lobby it, so they take smoke. They will take credit for lobbying.
The assembly, and then and as it stands now, assemblies do not even construct roads. PeeKay, are you aware of that?
Oh yes.
But
some people, some of them can do it when the road is too bad.
They have the capacity. Sometimes they even query them when they use their money for that, because almost say no.
But you see, they have to communicate.
But
you see, it's the communication process.
As I say, when
the president is going to some areas,
yes.
When you get some of these technocrats, I think they should come on the show and then because
we engage
when
an
aspiring MP, then as a citizen, you know, say the Okano and you know because they're not.
You see, mostly.
But most of the initiatives being employed or deployed by institutions goes through the MP or even through the assembly. Let's say for instance, Tema West Hanum says our MP is doing a project called Let There Be Light. And there are certain areas within Tema West are lighting.
So why is there light here now? When will you come?
They started, I think, yesterday or 3 days ago.
Where did they start?
We'll talk about
when have they started?
You see, the issue.
At the end of the day, they say let there be light.
And there was light.
And then darkness. There will be light. If there are certain areas now, if they say, okay, the bar, we can talk about.
So what's the woman?
We can talk about it after the shoot. Yes, and winning, and that is a very good question because most of these things passes through the assembly. The assembly releases to the person. What you say? So the MCs is equally doing its responsibilities, making sure say our program for in every district and other assemblies agencies
to add up to
let me ask this question. Sometimes I want to get clarity. I know every assembly sit down and plan. This is our plan for the year. The issue arises when the MP and the MC are from different parties.
Yes.
Yeah.
So and some of the time, especially when the MC is also gunning to be an MP. Then they have the conflict.
Yes.
If they are from the same party and they agree to disagree, they will work. But when their interest falls in place, it's worse than them being of the opposite.
Wait. I've been in this business for long.
That is what I'm saying.
I have seen MPs.
When an MC want to have
Yes. So you see the whole thing. So that is why they need to be accountable. If they don't have any structure to, yes, that's it.
You spoke about planning. Yeah. When you come to my area, Ajekodio, for instance, mean to me come other areas, but there are days that they call the leadership. I represent the youth in Ajekodio. I'm afraid leadership, assembly, engineering department. We look at the various projects. Your person when you're near my cutting off. I'm say ye 3 and 6 and 3 more. Ye and no 3 more. I'm say okay. Out of the 6 now, this and this is the one. Those ones that we can prioritize. And wait till you know so when say anything I bet me I am yet me and yet and mama say I'm okay. So there are a lot of issues I want for complaining. Me I call meeting I say I call board for mama there because I represent certain people I make catch wrong. If you are not privy to this meeting, nobody can say oh assembly come on your meeting. I'm on your fee. So when people are complaining say may asphalt road and then you go and sit down. And then they tell you, say, oh, asphalt road get into me in the next 4 years.
Your constituency, the roads are not good.
But you bet me a resurfacing. Every 8 months will come and do resurfacing.
You see, let me see.
You have an assembly.
Yes.
You have an assembly.
Yeah, we do.
You see.
So you already why the roads
bad?
See,
I said, why are your roads bad like that?
But
of course,
see,
if not for
I said why your roads bad like that?
Sakumo people.
But recently,
you see your area.
Adekoyo, we have challenge and we are still working on.
I spoke to some of your drivers here when we were to challenge. They were complaining about
recently. You see,
as for yours, they don't talk.
Yeah, in the no, but
even from my area, the roads are bad, which we agree. Just like 4 weeks ago, we started here resurfacing, and that is what I mentioned to you about say Yako meetings and
you see
there's an issue about Teman. The MCU went she made sure herself
the issue is that
she's doing
I want her to sit here and tell me what she's doing.
As much as the MP is equally working.
I want to sit her down and see what she's doing.
We are looking way forward. Said these developmental issues,
you see, another issue that I find it. I find it that last within the past 6 years, just as this current government, you have one gutter around Ashama, Punkatamas, that's Zenu, precisely around the downtown. I think 3 years ago, there was a heavy Katamas, there was a dam there, and it broke and it even took some people's life. The question is, you know why this is happening? Before, that's during the NDC government, at least they come to distill the gutter. But this time around, nothing. We have, as in the assembly, we have reported, we have complained.
What's the assembly?
I don't know, we written letter.
Assembly, no.
Yeah, it's part of the assembly duty. Yes.
So you should know more.
Yes, we write to them. We to the assembly.
Which I remember.
Yes, but they don't take. Yeah, the MC, but they don't take to the MC. No, to the MC.
When you have such issue, you don't write to the MC.
It's connecting that.
No. I just want you to know that we have passed through all the right process. They are becoming to their place, but they come. Sometimes they can even tell you there's no fund. They will tell you there's no fund. And you see, it's not about they will get there. It's not about they will get there. It is time. It is time we take proactive action. It is time we give what is rightful to the people. We all spoke about why the people sometimes refuse to pay revenue. These are all factors. So it is time the government sits up. Things are getting bad day in the house. I get it. Yeah, I know they started something. I'm not saying, but you see,
PeeKay, they did that road when NDC was coming to exit.
Oh, I say.
No, yes.
I say.
6 months in Poindu.
Oh,
no. But you see. Let me also make. No, I'm not saying the NDC. No, I'm not saying the NDC. I'm not saying the NDC, but they are doing better. Do you know why? When somebody does something, I said the NDC is doing better, not MP.
No,
yes. you see when the NDC did that, and you say within 6 months, even is what effort did the MPP put in because we did this before we left our 2016. You left the place till today. This is 6 years. Even during the process of even deteriorating, if you have taken step to do some 1 or 2 things, it should have improved. Are you getting?
You are an assembly member. Let's get things straight. Me, from the little I know, the planet, the Mercury, evolution this year. The next time we'll touch it is about 6 or 8 years. So when you're the papa. And this time, and my issue goes to those who supervise the road.
Yes, so that's what I'm saying, that and there are a lot of things going on wrong. That the system is not. You see, you give a contract to somebody, and that's the contract. You should have an agreement with it, even a time frame for the road for it to even get damage or anything should happen. There should be a system. If you are giving, maybe I'm giving a contract and I'm paying maybe 60%, the rest of the 40%, after you divide the contract, we pay you 20%, we pay you after some 5-10 years. You have to do a proper work. And that's what will happen.
I'm going to support the Black Stars. No matter where I find myself
and support the finance minister.
Oh, today, no, the budget, nothing. No, there's nothing that 3 times.
No, wait. What does he need my support for?
Yeah, he needs your support
for what?
He wants you to be inspired by whatever.
A budget that even your own MPs. See, a budget that even your own MPs are against. They have to come and talk at the back door.
No.
No.
They were against.
It's not a presenter. It's not a presenter.
When you change, so I put something on my status. When you change, don't announce it.
Yes.
Oh yes.
When you change,
let's see result.
Please, if the finance minister wants me to support him, he shouldn't tell me. Oh, he shouldn't tell me. But show it. Let us reflect in my pocket. I am dry. It's 20 something. I'm not dry. My name is PeeKay. I'd like to say a big thank you to Martin and Isaac. I mean, they've both done some. Okay, they say they want to look into the camera and tell Black Star something, and then let's get out.
Oh, Ghana Black Star. You know, we really love you. As Ghanaians, we are really proud of our own. Today, all we want is that be committed. You people should go in the team spirit, come out with the flying colors. I wish you well. I wish at the end of the day we have 2-1 in favor of Ghana.
Massa.
Then
and
my white shirt there. My white shirt
is. Can't tease this.
It's Ghana Black Stars.
We know how you do, and we know you can do well. Today, even if some people don't expect to hear anything good from the finance minister, at least you should be a backing vocalist to give us some kind of happiness in the evening.
Thank you.
Either draw or
2-1.
Or no, or you win. And greetings to my Sami Dapa, my communication director.
Thank you, Isaac Weston. Thank you, Martin Adato. My name is PeeKay. God willing, tomorrow we'll make it better. We want to see something. We'll bring you the budget reading by the finance minister, and then we'll take you over to Friday's Pop. We'll be having a little chat. Ghana, what's we'll be now? My name is PeeKay. I'm out of here. For those of you who watched us on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, we say thank you. If you watch us on the digital television, we say thank you. If you watch us on New Day,